become real. And the more real it becomes, the more desperate they want it. Capital at its finest. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed, for lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right. Greed works. But if I have to look at 100 deals a day, I choose one. First lesson in business, don't get emotional about stock. How's the judgment? It's all about bucks. Money never sleeps, pal. Just made 800,000 Hong Kong gold.
Hang on, man, it's using this gold getting found big.
Good evening, stock traders, and welcome to Stock Traders Talk Radio, here on a beautiful Monday night, February 27th, 2012. I am your host, STT. Joining me on tonight's program, I have QT Cal.
Hey there, Mike. How are ya?
I'm fantastic. How about yourself?
Doing great, and I'm super excited that Cop's back tonight, so it's going to be a good show.
It's about time. Slacking lately, I'll tell you that much. 2 nights in a row. So, like I told Haas earlier in the week, I want to cut pay here real quick. Sorry. Has to be done. Also, joining me on tonight's program, Mr. Cop.
Hey, Mike. How you doing, QT?
Hey, Cop. Good. How are you?
Oh, loving it. What could be better?
Great, great.
As we start off the week here on STT Radio, we have yet another exclusive CEO interview for our listeners. Doing tonight's interview, as usual, Mr. Cop. Mr. Cop, take it away, sir.
Thanks, Mike. We're here with Mr. Pierce Fleming, the CFO and Vice President of Dynasty Limousine Incorporated, stock ticker DNYS. Mr. Fleming has a diverse history and background in the automotive and marketing industry, focused on the luxury service sector. In this interview, I'd like to cover the company's background, business plan, and strategic objectives, and the way forward. Welcome to Stock Traders Talk Radio, Mr. Fleming.
Hi, how are you? Thanks so much for having me on.
Oh, it's our pleasure. How about if we get started with describing to our audience what your company does?
Yes, no problem. Dynasty Limousine, we are a full-service limousine and transportation company. We also offer other services such as event planning, concierge services. Primarily, though, we're in the business of chartering limousines and transporting people. Company started in 1998. It's family-owned and operated. Myself and my family work here in the office. We have a staff of 12 chauffeurs currently with us. We have 17 vehicles, all kinds of beautiful and different types of limousines, stretch limos, limousine buses, luxury cars. We also have access to additional vehicles through affiliates. We rent cars by the hour or by the day. We service retail and corporate clients. And we take reservations by phone, through our websites. We have 2 offices, one located in Jacksonville, Florida, and one located in Orange Park, Florida. Pretty good history of the company. We've been nominated for the last 4 years in a row as national top 3 finalists for Limousine Operator of the Year. Unfortunately, we haven't won it. We've come in second for the last 4 years in a row, but there's about 8,400 companies nationwide, so we're very pleased to at least be in the top 3 in the country for the last 4 years in a row. So that was a very good honor for our company and our people. We have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, and we're very much into the service side of our business. We take care of our clients very, very well. We're constantly adding new vehicles to our fleet. I added 5 brand new cars just this past year, and company's growing. So that's basically, in a nutshell, our company and what we do.
The top 3 out of 8,400 nationwide? That's
there's
pretty impressive.
8,400 limo companies nationwide. Now they divide the award based on fleet size. There's 1 to 10 vehicles, 11 to 30. We fall in the 11 to 30 vehicle sector, and then there's 31 to 50, and then 51 plus. So out of the 8,400, it's divided into fleet size, but most companies do fall in the same category that we're in, 11 to 30 vehicles. And the past 4 years in a row, LCT Magazine, which they've been very supportive of us. As a matter of fact, I just finished a phone interview with them prior to this call on y'all tonight, and they're running a story on us in the next issue. But, top three in the country, national finalists for the last 4 years in a row.
That's impressive. Yeah, in basic detail, just describe what your background experience is and, the brief history of that.
Sure. My background is in finance and insurance, marketing and sales. That's what I've done since leaving college. I attended Old Dominion University in Virginia and University of North Florida, and I received finance and insurance certification from the Ziegler Institute in 1992. Spent 18 years in the automobile industry after college, and the last 12 years prior to coming on to Dynasty full-time, I was with Acura. And really, Acura was a great experience because it's a high-level vehicle, high-level clients. I received the Precision Team Award 9 times when I was with them, and that's their highest honor for client satisfaction and business performance. I really don't know if anybody has ever received it that many times, so that was a big honor for me and my team while I was there. And a lot of that experience from Acura carried over to what I've done here at Dynasty. My family's had this company since 1998. I came on full-time in 2008 when I left the car business, and basically I brought a lot of the follow-up procedures and marketing strategies that I used at Acura here to my company. They've worked out very well. Things such as, templates for reservation requests where they come in so we can handle a higher volume, our follow-up procedures, and just overall the way we treat our clients. Just some things that I picked up from serving so many clients over the years, and it's really, carried over well to this industry.
Describe the makeup of your board of directors or your marketing team, per se, and the reason behind your team.
Sure, that's no problem. Well, I'm Pierce Fleming. I'm the Chief Financial Officer and Vice President of the company. Obviously, we all do a lot of different things, but primarily I handle investor relations, the OTC markets compliance, as far as, getting all the reports transmitted on a timely basis, make sure that they're accurate and complete, comply with all the guidelines set forth by the OTC markets. I handle marketing. I'm our IT guy, and whenever there's overflow of bookings and dispatch that needs to be handled, I do work here in the office, so I handle those as well. Ann Fleming is our CEO and president. She handles our DOT and state-required certifications, chauffeur training, reservations, dispatch, accounts payable and receivable, plus a bunch of other things. Shelley Fleming is our general manager and treasurer. She's the head of our internet marketing division. She's also in reservations and dispatch as well. And then I have 2 additional family members that work in the office that assist with the fleet management and dispatch and about 100 other different things that come up throughout the day. And then we have 12 chauffeurs that are, that work for us that are just absolutely top-notch, fantastic people. A lot of those folks have been with us for many, many years, and we always get good feedback on the job that they do. But the board of directors is 3 people, myself, Ann Fleming, and Shelley Fleming. And we own 4 million of the 4.8 million shares out there.
Whoa.
Yeah, so we're
one more time?
we're heavily vested in this, and we want to make sure that we do the best possible job, not only for our shareholders, for our clients, but for us as well.
I'd like to dive into that a little bit more with your previous point. When you were talking about the OTC markets, I mean, what about your securities and accounting team and the processes for gathering and disclosing information for OTC markets? How are you doing that?
Okay, yeah, because someone had actually, an investor had called and asked me about that as well, saying, have you guys thought about uplisting and getting financials audited? And, our financials are not audited. But let me tell you the process behind it, because it's pretty detailed, and it does not leave much room for error, actually 0 room for error, because it goes through 4 different entities before the public even sees it. All of our receipts and all of our processing and billing is turned in directly to our accounting firm, which is Myers & Company Accounting. They have been our companies and business accounting firm for approximately 18 years. They're located in Orange Park, Florida. So they get everything from the company. They process it, and then they generate the financial statements. I also have to do a quarterly or annual report, which has an additional either 30 or 70 pages required, which is general information on the company, share structure, what's been happening with the company, et cetera, et cetera. Those financials are then inserted in there. Then that document is uploaded to the OTC Markets website. Then our securities attorneys reviews those documents and then presents an opinion as to the validity of those documents as well, and they do a phone interview with us. So, no, they're not audited, but it goes through a very long process before the documents are seen by anybody publicly. And
if you don't mind,
go ahead.
If you don't mind me asking, I mean, how did you take Dynasty to become a public company?
Actually, it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Much harder than anything. And I mean, I ran a 240-car dealership. I was general sales manager when I left. I ran a 240-car a month dealership, and that was a breeze compared to taking this company public. I'm not exaggerating when I tell you it's about 15,000 pages of documents. And what made it even more difficult was, I came to this company full-time in 2008. What made it more difficult is that was right after, right during the economic meltdown and Enron and all that stuff that happened. So it seemed like every time I would get one group or one government agency handled, there would be somebody else that would need some documentation. And it was very lengthy process, very detailed process. We had FINRA involved, the SEC involved. We applied for DTC eligibility. That came up after everything was done. Didn't even know we needed to do that, but we had to get DTC eligible so that it could be traded through, the discount brokers and the online brokers, et cetera. So that was another step at the end that we had to do. But we've been checked out unbelievably by a ton of different agencies, and we did not do reverse merger. I didn't buy some shell company or anything like that. We went from scratch, and that's probably why it took so long and why it was so difficult. A company called Tiber Creek Corporation, which is based in Washington, D.C. Now they're in Newport Beach, California. They're owned by a securities attorney named Jim Cassidy. Great people. I've met all these people in person. They assisted us in going public, and what you have to do is you had to get 50 shareholders as a private company for a period of 1 year. So we had friends, family, vendors that were given prospectus on the company when we were private. This is back in 2007, 2008. And they purchased shares in the company, and they had to hold them for a period of a year. And then after you've had them for a period of a year, there's other paperwork and approvals that were required, but you become eligible to get a stock symbol. And then from there, we had to get FINRA involved and get DTC eligible. But that's basically how we were able to go public. We had to get 50 shareholders for a period of more than 1 year, and then a ton of paperwork and a ton of background information, which was all clear. So that's how we went public.
Yeah, wow. I mean, most of the people that we interviewed, that's not the process that they took. So clearly that was a lot of hard work on your part.
There's a few different ways you can do it. I mean, we were already a fully functioning business. Like I said, we started the company back in '98. My family's been doing it full time. It's just I was working at a full-time job elsewhere. But, we could have done a reverse merger or we could have bought a shell. But when you buy a shell, you have the possibility of picking up baggage that you don't know about during the sale. Previous lawsuits or claims made against the previous company, all that carries over. I didn't want to deal with any of that, so I took the hard route, and we went from scratch. So there's no possibility of any of that coming up because DNYS is a brand new symbol, never traded before, and we're a fully functioning company with revenues and profits.
Now earlier you mentioned you were talking about the share structure and your shareholders. Do you have any splits coming in the future?
Actually, we do, and the timing of this interview is actually pretty good. We have a 3-for-1 forward split with a record date coming this Wednesday, the 29th of February. So everybody that owns shares as of the close of market on Wednesday will get 2 additional shares. It's a 3-for-1 split. So every 1 share you get additional 2 for a total of 3. And the reasoning behind doing that is our share structure is tiny. And I did that by design when taking this company public. I didn't want a ton of shares out there. On the ping sheets, that seems to be so prevalent, where everybody's 000 this, and it's just, we're a luxury company. I have the most beautiful vehicles possible. I mean, literally we do. And there's a little bit of prestige with my company. So I have a very low share structure. The float is about 750,000, which is so small, the swings in our share price are radical. Don't know if you've had a chance to look at the charts, but, I mean, sometimes the spread between bid and ask can be pretty heavy. So I talked to our securities team. Cassidy & Associates are going to facilitate the split for us, and the record date is 2 days from now at the close of business, and there'll be approximately 2.2 million in the float at that point, which is still a very small number, but it's our hope that it'll be less volatile. And that's the main thing. We're trying to just make it a little bit less volatile so that it's a little more orderly when people, want to invest in Dynasty Limousine.
Sure. Normally when you see the big gap between the bid and the ask, it's normally when there's very few shares that are actually out there. So there is very few shares out there. Like I said, the actual share counts right now, there's and this is accurate through today. Our share count has not changed. As a matter of fact, since we were a private company, it's only changed one time by a very small amount, but it has not changed at all in about 2 years. The current numbers are 4.836 million total outstanding. Of that, my family, with the 3 company directors, own almost 4 million. The float is 737,000. So with a float of 700K, it makes for some pretty fun trading if people can stomach it. It's definitely not flat. When it starts trading, it definitely moves pretty rapidly. So we're just trying to get a few more shares out there, and we're not going to, dump shares out there or add shares to the share count. We're going to do a forward split, and that way people can participate in it. And it's, in my opinion, it's more ethical than just going ahead and issuing another, 20 million shares out there to make a more orderly market. We're just going to do it with forward splits. We were going to do a 4-to-1 forward split, but the directors, we all decided on a 3-to-1, and then we're going to look at it again in 12 months. We'd like, to see how the trading goes and see how the price structure looks and everything, and this is going to be a great year for us also, so we're going to take a look at it again at the end of the year. So clearly you have a little bit of focus on the trading of the stock. I mean, how would you talk about the stock performance? I mean, what would you comment about that?
Well, the volume has been, when I took this company public, I'll be honest with you, I really expected the volume to be a little bit more than what it has been, mainly because we're a real company. We have real assets. The assets were $1.2 million and change at the end of the period. I just filed our annual report, and we had revenues of $718,000. We're not a huge company, but we're growing, and we've grown every year, and last year was a record revenue year for us. And I report as required by the OTC market, so all of the information is out there. Quarterly reports are filed on time. We're OTC Pink, which is the current information category. I issue press releases regularly. We had gotten a contract with the Department of Navy, press release that. Didn't really do anything, which I would have thought so because it was a relatively large contract at the time. We got one with the Air Force, which is still in process. That's actually a 4-year contract. Again, that really didn't generate much in the way of volume. Seems like people are just now starting to find it. Just taking a little bit longer than I expected, given the results that Dynasty's produced. It's taking a little bit longer than I had expected for people to start finding us, but they're starting to find us now, so that's fine.
Now, do you have any plans for increasing investor awareness in the future?
Actually, it's kind of funny. Before we were public, we would get phone calls all the time, people wanting to do different things for us, and now that we're public, it seems like every day I'm getting a phone call, somebody wanting to do an investor awareness campaign for us, and quite honestly, I'm leery of most of these companies. There is one that we're looking at now, though, that came highly recommended that is a very ethical and honest company, and I may be doing something here over the course of the next 30 days to assist in investor awareness, and it's also going to be a brand imaging campaign as well, and the investors online will like this. I'm not paying for it in stock. It's going to be a cash transaction, and that's kind of one of the other reasons why I've kind of held off on doing a program like that is because a lot of these outfits want you to pay with restricted stock, and we just have such a low share count. I hold shares very close to my chest. They're not available for these types of things. So we're going to be paying cash for an awareness campaign, a brand imaging campaign. I have a deal on the table. I have not completed the transaction yet, but I'm going to, and no shares will be issued as part of that. None.
Yeah, it's pretty normal in the OTC, especially a lot of money left the OTC there for a while, and it seems to be starting to come back. But you have to have some form of awareness. In my opinion, you have to have some form of awareness for people to find you. I mean, it's really what that is.
Yes, definitely, and I'm seeing that now. It was just me being naive, thinking, okay, great. We just came through a recession. My company did. We were kind of at the same level for a long time. In 2007, we only did $230,000. Last year, we did $718,000. So through the recession, we more than tripled our revenue. So me thinking, when people see this and see the low share count, it's a no-brainer, but it takes more than that, and I'm seeing that now, and so we're going to do something about that.
But that's the humor to it, isn't it? You did it wrong.
I know, right?
You didn't let revenues.
We grew the business during the recession. We tripled it. I mean, I'm really not sure of anybody else that's tripled their revenues through the recession, but that's not generating enough activity, so we're going to have to actually get some other folks involved. It baffles me, but it is what it is. It's
amazing
fine.
how that works.
I know.
Yeah. Well, how about if you tell us about your strategic direction or your business objectives?
Well, we have a few different things that we're looking to do. I had released in previous filings. We're looking to add some different revenue streams here to the company. In previous filings, we had listed that we were going to be purchasing a property and adding a sales and service facility in addition to our rental business. And there was a beautiful property that we almost closed on, but the seller it just didn't work out at the last minute. They were changing the price and things of that nature. So that didn't happen, but that's still on the table. I've spoken to one of the coach builders, and I'm not going to mention who it is, but they are actually certified with Lincoln Mercury and with Cadillac to be a certified coach builder. Anyway, they have expressed some interest in us being a distributor for them, and obviously we would need a larger facility than the building that we have now. So that's on the table, and also for the servicing of limousines as well. It wouldn't be just for our fleet. It would be for everyone's fleet in the area, really from Savannah down to Orlando, because quite frankly, it's difficult to service these limousines. You have to take them several different areas because, there's radio equipment involved, there is lighting equipment, then you have the vehicle itself, and you have the conversion. So, you can blow a whole day just shoveling one vehicle around. So the plan was to have a centralized service and sales facility where even other operators could bring their car in, and we'd handle everything under roof. So that's something that we're looking at doing. If we can find the right property, we're going to look at doing that. The next 2 quarters are going to be very exciting for us. We just added, as I mentioned earlier in the show, 5 new vehicles to our fleet, 2011s last year. And quite literally, we've been slammed. The last 3 weeks have been the best. It's going to be the best February by far that we've ever had. And we're coming into prom season, which really starts beginning part of March and runs through beginning part of June. And that is our highest revenue producing time of the year. And that's happening now. And I've got the best fleet I've ever had, and the response has really, really, really been heavy. A lot of reservation requests, a lot of phone calls. I'm going to have to add more people to the office. This business is exceptionally good right now, exceptionally good.
Now, earlier you mentioned your nominations for the Limousine Operator of the Year. Mm-hmm. I mean, being in Jacksonville, have you received any other awards or any other recognition?
Yes, we have. The Knot.com, K-N-O-T, is, they say they're the world's largest wedding resource, which I believe they are. That's where all the brides and all the people go to that are going to have, wedding and events like that. Anyway, they named us 2010 Best Limo Service Provider, and they sent us the award, and we were listed on their website. So, and that's not something that we were even involved with. Our brides that we transport actually nominated us, and we won that award. We've had an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, and we're an accredited Better Business Bureau company. We've had that rating at least for 4 years, possibly longer, 0 complaints. And you got to think, for a limousine company to have no complaints and an A+ rating, that is not easy to do, because there's all sorts of variables that we encounter. Traffic getting to the client on time. Sometimes people are a little unruly. They can be a little difficult to deal with. It isn't always as straightforward. But I have a great staff of people. I constantly upgrade our vehicles. I don't have anything in our fleet that I personally would not be driven in. Everything is very, very nice. And so that's real important to us, is having good ratings and good reviews out there, and we do. I mean, we've transported thousands and thousands of clients over the last 13, 14 years, and a lot of them are friends of ours. We have a lot of repeat business. We have a lot of major corporate clients, major corporate clients that charter with us regularly. A lot of A-list celebrities, big names that charter with us regularly here as well. So, we that's what we cater to. We're not, last year I had the option, we had several vehicles that were paid off. And I was like, wow, this is great. These vehicles are paid off, and, so we can have a higher profit margin on these cars. But, then you start figuring, they don't look as nice. They don't have the latest features. There's additional maintenance costs involved. So I made the decision last year, I'm not going to go that route. I'm just going to get all new vehicles. I'm going to replace everything, and I'm going to run the newest, most exotic fleet possible out there and offer the highest level of service. And a lot of people think, with the economy being the way that it is now, that you can't do that everything has to be the cheapest, has to be rock bottom, and all this. It does not have to be that way. Luxury clients will pay for the best as long as it's within reason and as long as there's value there, and that's what we provide.
I'm curious. Where did this idea of starting a limousine business come from?
My mother, and she. The name Dynasty was actually, she liked the Dynasty show back in the 80s, the Dynasty television show. And she purchased one vehicle way back in 1998, and she was the sales manager for Lincoln Mercury at the time. So she was running a Lincoln Mercury dealership and running a small, back then it was smaller, and she was running the limo dealership, the limousine company also while she was running that Lincoln Mercury dealership. And it went that way for quite a long time, and then we brought additional family members in, and it just kind of grew. And then I decided in 2007 that, hey, this might be it might be a good idea to take the company public. I kind of felt like that might allow us to be able to expand at a faster rate some point down the road. And when I came here, I just applied all of the knowledge that I had from the automobile industry, and it's just worked out really well. We have very good follow-up procedures, very good client service, and it's just allowed the company to grow a lot just really in the past 3 years. And from what I'm seeing now, 2012 is going to be off the charts. I really could use additional vehicles right now, but we're in good shape though for the prom season coming up. So we're gonna rock and roll with what we've got and maximize what we can do.
I was going to dive earlier. We kind of talked about pieces of the the significance of your market, and you've tapped on it all over the place. So basically you have enough business if you just keep increasing your fleet from a growth standpoint. That business is actually there. The market exists.
Oh yeah, definitely. The market does exist. Now, obviously, we may look at doing an additional location outside of our market. Our market, realistically, right now, I mean, we just keep increasing market share. That the population here in North Florida, in the Jacksonville area primarily, is growing, not super fast. I believe it's about 1.3, 1.4 million right here in Jacksonville. But we can always put a satellite office in Savannah. We could do something in Orlando. We can duplicate what we've got here in additional markets. But Jacksonville, really, I could add another 5 cars, another 5 limousines, and that's a significant amount of additional revenue. I don't know that we could add much more than that. So that's why we were talking about doing a sales and service operation in addition to the rental business, because I would really prefer to do that than go into other markets at this time, because there's a lot of competition in Orlando, a whole lot, and we do service Orlando. But in Jacksonville, we have a very high market share, and we're very, very well known here. So if we can just add additional revenue streams from a sales or service operation, that would be ideal at this time. But we can add more cars and still not be at the maximum. I think we're about 5 cars away from being able to say that we've plateaued out at this particular market.
Now, with your developed processes that you have, and clearly you're following the business plan, what are your expectations for, say, the short term?
Well, for the short term, as I mentioned, we are going into our best 2 quarters of the year. Prom season is going to be the best that we've ever had. I know that for sure, because we have vehicles that we've not had in the past, and I'm seeing the response already. We already obviously are getting bookings for that time of year, and so I know that it's going to be very, very good for the next 2 quarters. We're looking at adding another limousine bus, and we're looking at adding a white Escalade to go with the pink and black one that we just got. That'll come after the prom season ends in June or so, and then we're just going to continue to increase the business. I'm going to be looking at redesigning the websites, which they do a great job for us. We get a lot of reservation requests, and customers do book through our website as well, where they pay for the limousine through the website. We get thousands of hits per month. I have 2 sites. I have one for our Jacksonville office and one for our Orange Park office, but I'm going to be redesigning those. That's coming up as well, and so the outlook is very, very good for the next couple quarters, and actually for the entire year. I mean, February typically is flat completely, and my whole staff just left. Everybody was working here late, and it's for it to be this busy in February. I know that March, April, May, and June are going to be. I've got to hire some more people.
Now, you mentioned the competition, that type of sector being, very competitive. I mean, have you done previous acquisitions, and do you have possible future acquisitions in mind?
Yes, we did. I did an acquisition of a company that was an affiliate of ours up in Georgia, and we purchased the company, and we purchased their vehicles. This was, as I recall, in late 2009 we did that. We were looking at a couple other companies here in town that have slightly different business models than us. Some transportation companies are more in the people-moving business. We're more of a luxury limousine service. We do some airport transportation, but not a lot. I'm contemplating in our next acquisition would be a company similar to that has shuttle buses and does a lot of airport work, because that doesn't interfere with our current business model. It would be additional business. And there are 2 targets within our market that I'm looking at, both with very good reputations. And that's the other thing too, is they have to have a very good reputation. They have to have the right type of vehicles, and because our fleet is different than pretty much everyone else's in our market. So it has to be something slightly different, but definitely has to be a reliable, ethical, and a company with, a good customer base. So yes, I'm looking at 2 companies right now that are a possibility for that. We've done one acquisition already, and we're looking at others as well.
After reviewing some of your filings, I noticed that you had the addition of sales and service facility. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning. If we can get a property locked down, that is something that I want to do. I mean, obviously, my whole family comes from a car business background. It was very successful at that. And when I purchased limousines, matter of fact, I had to fly to Missouri to pick up my last 2. I've flown to New York. I've flown to New Jersey. There's really, I mean, we're in Florida. There should be a nice facility here in North Florida to be able to purchase these vehicles, and servicing is a major problem also. So there is a need, and the competition is none in this particular market for both of those items, so both service and sales. So if we can find the right deal on some property, and I know the ins and outs of sales operation completely, and I already have technicians on staff, I can make it happen. As long as we get the right building, that can happen relatively quickly. I've even already talked with one of our coach builders, and they've shown an interest in providing us inventory for the sales operation as well. And it's not like it's not like a car dealership where you're going to sell 100 limos. It doesn't work that way. It would be maybe 10 to 15 a month, but the margins are pretty stout. On those vehicles, they range between 80 and 125,000 each, depending on what they are. But the service area is where I think the big opportunity would be for additional revenues, because I know what we spend on our fleet, and it would be open to all operators, and it would be one-stop shopping. We would do everything in-house: radios, lighting, vehicle maintenance, the whole package, transmissions, engines, everything. So that's really, I think, the next phase that we're going to be looking to go into.
Now, do you have any strategic alliances or partners?
No. Yeah, my family. That's it. Yeah, there's no alliances. There's no outside anybody. This was a fully functioning company since 1998, and we just took it public. There's no strategic alliances with anyone. I mean, we have a lot of support from LCT Magazine. They provide us a lot of free press and things of that nature. But no, there's no strategic alliances.
So beyond the services that you provide, what are your longer term goals? Let's say 1 year, 5 years out.
Well, I'm glad you asked. I've got something that been wanting to announce out there, and I guess this is the best forum to do it at, because we have a pretty large audience out there. So I'll go ahead and announce it here on your show. We are in the process of designing a search engine for limousines. It's going to be similar to an Orbitz.com, Priceline.com, something along those lines, but the model is going to be slightly different. There is one major player right now that offers this similar type of service, but it returns results for 5, 6, or 7 different operators, and essentially it's a bidding war. What we're going to offer is a one search return that's for one company that has been vetted by us, that has proper insurance, proper regulations, has good customer reviews, has a nice fleet. It's going to save the customer time, effort, energy of having to find this information out on their own. So rather than just going for price, they know that they're getting the best company possible, and they know they're going to show up and they know it's going to be a nice experience for them as well. The website is called limobug.com, and it is a search engine for limousines. We're starting beta testing. It's going to start next month. I already have operators that are interested in signing up with us, and that is something that we are going to roll out and launch here over the next quarter, 2 quarters. And the way we're going to have revenues on that, bookings are going to be are going to come through the site, and we're going to receive 15% commission on every booking that comes through. Once beta testing is complete, we're going to roll it out nationwide. So that's the next thing coming up for us.
Well, thank you for that exclusive. That's
no problem.
A very big deal.
There is a landing page up right now, limobug.com, and it's going to be just a search engine. People are going to put in the date they want service, their location. It's going to return a result from a top limousine company, essentially a Dynasty limousine in another market that has all the proper certifications, all the proper insurance, has very good customer reviews. You're going to get one result, you're going to get a price, and you know that it's going to be a great experience. Because what we have found on our end, a lot of people think that, a customer is just going to want to save $10 an hour, they're going to want to save $15 an hour. Well, none of that matters if the limo doesn't show up, or if the limo is late, or if it shows up in a 99 Lincoln Town Car with 200,000 miles. The customer doesn't care about that $10 or $15 an hour at that point. The whole thing is ruined. So what we're going to do is this search engine is only going to return the top carrier in each market. The customer knows it's going to be the proper vehicle, the proper experience, and we're going to launch this starting next month. We're doing beta testing on it. So there you go. That's our outlook, our long-term outlook. is for that to take off.
That's a pretty huge endeavor right there.
Yeah,
I've noticed in the conversation that you're kind of diversifying your revenue streams. Is that accurate?
We are. Like I said, the Jacksonville and North Florida market, and just so everybody knows, we don't just do limo runs here in Jacksonville or limo charters here in Jacksonville. We go all the way up to Hilton Head, South Carolina. We go all the way down to South Beach in Miami. I mean, we go everywhere. But primarily in this market, there is going to be a plateau at some point. I feel like we can do close to $1 million this year in revenues, very close to $1 million. But at some point, we're going to have to diversify. So I have been looking at doing something else. So sales and service operation, that's a little bit longer term. This limousine search engine, limobug.com, that's something that I'm going to be rolling out quickly. And if that takes off the way that I think it can, that could change the whole dynamics of everything that we have going on right now. And I do have companies already wanting to sign up with us on this. We're initially going to launch here in North Florida, North Central Florida, which is the Palm Coast and Daytona Beach area, and Orlando. So it's initially going to launch in those three markets, and then we're going to expand into different cities. And the great part about it is once we do the initial vetting for the companies that will be listed on there, it's on cruise control. We just take 15% commission on each booking that the clients do. We know the client's going to get taken care of. The clients know they're going to get taken care of. And we just take a small commission for the booking for going through the vetting process of the operators listed. So it'll be on cruise control at some point, which will be good.
Now the limobug.com piece. Now that would be national then, right?
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to do beta testing once the site is complete. We'll do beta testing in the three markets here near us: Daytona, Palm Coast, Jacksonville, Orlando. And then once that's up and going, and we make sure that it's ready to go nationwide, then we'll begin contacting operators nationwide. We have affiliates throughout the country, very, very good operators. There's a lot of great operators throughout the United States, a ton of them, and we know a lot of them. And we're going to be contacting those folks and getting them involved. It's not going to cost them anything there's no sign-up or anything like that. They simply just pay a commission when they have bookings. It's not like a lead provider service. It's actually a booking service. And I think it's going to go over real well. I've had some real positive feedback on it. And it's a different – there's no exact competition for that space. The current competition is pretty much a bidding war or a price war. With us, it's going to be one operator that's the best in that particular market. That's the way we're going to do it.
I mean, the concept's, brilliant. And when you sit there and think about it, you did your customer service, you've built the company from pretty much the ground, and employed all your processes, upgraded your fleet, and then been in the top 3 out of 8,400 limousine services nationwide. I think everybody knows you. So, clearly when you speak about something like this and, who you recommend is probably, carries a lot of weight, I would assume.
Well, yes, and that's the thing. I know what it takes to be a legal operator and to go through all the things that we have to go to as a limousine operator to make sure we're compliant all the way around. And this isn't even counting the public side. I'm just talking about the business side. So, some operators do that, some don't. And customers, sometimes they look at just price, but there's a lot more to it than that when, you're being driven around in a chauffeured vehicle. So we want to make sure that we're going to return results only for those companies that meet the same criteria that we have in other markets. And, some of that information customers can find out on their own. They can go online, they can read reviews and this and that, but they may not be able to find out if the company is currently insured. They may not be able to find out if they do have proper DOT regulations, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to do all that work for the clients. And so when they book through us, then they will know that they're getting, what they expect.
We've kind of touched on a lot of different things. What do you think makes Dynasty a good investment for potential investors? More importantly, if you had a 5-minute elevator speech that would represent the excitement of the future of your company, what would it be?
Okay, a 5-minute elevator speech?
Sure.
Okay. Well, I would say, as I mentioned before, the company has grown so much through what many would consider, one of the worst economic climates ever, or at least in 50 years. We've tripled revenues from 2007 to 2011. We've increased our fleet size. As on the security side of things, I have an extremely low share count, and my family personally owns about 83 to 85% of the shares out there, and very small float. We're a very ethical company. We're a very honest company. We're a fully reporting company. We have offices. We have physical offices. We're a real organization, and we're growing. And as I just laid out, we have some very big plans for growth. And I know people would like, press releases every single day and, all kinds of different things coming out, but we're pretty conservative by nature. And, I'm not going to put a lot of fluff PRs out there and things of that nature. I'm going to follow all the guidelines and send the reports out. And when PRs come out, it's going to be something significant. And just want everybody to know that we do have plans to expand the business, and business is great right now. And I do appreciate everybody's support as well. We have the best group of investors out there, bar none.
That's great. We've covered a lot of information. Is there anything else you would like to address that I didn't cover?
No, I think we covered just about everything. Just want to thank everybody for their support. And, if anybody wants to get in touch with me, I'm here at the office at Dynasty. I work every day. So if anybody ever wants to call and chat and, it's things that I can talk about and can discuss, I certainly will. And, just be looking for big things from us. We're gonna do the best possible job we can for our shareholders and for our clients and for our people that work with us. And, it's called Dynasty for a reason. We want to actually make a difference, and we want to, leave a good mark with everyone.
Well, Pierce, this is Mike. I have a caller that has a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on 1 second. Let me add him.
Okay.
Caller, you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi, how are you?
Doing? Who's this?
Yes. This is actually Common Sense. This is Steve Martin. I moderate your investment board on iHub.
Hi, Steve.
And what's up, buddy? I know we've been in contact. I'm extremely impressed with the interview and the show, I must say. I want to congratulate you and your family for being in top 3 limo company for the past 4 years. That is awesome.
Thank you.
I also want to commend you for bringing your family's company public. Not the easy way, not the slimy way, but
it was the hard way, I assure you.
The long,
much harder than I ever thought.
And bringing them public, really, really from scratch, almost like a pink sheet IPO.
It was.
I think that, yeah. I personally moderate a lot of different companies, a lot of different boards, and I know of companies personally that are having some serious problems with shell mergers, that they've got into situations that they had no idea what they're getting into. And you being so clean, it's a new symbol, never traded before, and you did it from scratch. That is absolutely awesome. But I do want to bring out a really good point, because I listened to the entire show and it's just blowing me away. Not just because I'm an investor, not just because I moderate the board. I mean, I'm being transparent and not calling and saying, I'm somebody else.
Right.
This is Common Sense. I'm Steve Martin. I moderate the board. But I do want to touch on this because I have an extensive background in the automotive industry. And I know for a fact that you are in a great position when purchasing these vehicles, these expensive vehicles, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, $100,000.
The last two were $125 each. Yeah.
Exactly. You have the ability, because of your background, to purchase these vehicles wholesale and save your family and your company a lot of money.
That is very true. I was thinking about it the other day. I've probably personally been involved with about 20,000 vehicle transactions over my life, and that's not an exaggeration. Just do the math, 240 vehicles a month, 200 vehicles a month, and I was in the business for about 18 years. So yes, we are getting fantastic deals on these new vehicles, and coach builders are motivated right now. Obviously, everybody's motivated to do business right now. So we're able to get these vehicles at a reduced price. But really, the main thing is my finance and insurance background. We're listed on Dun & Bradstreet, and our company credit report has an 80 Paydex, which is perfect. And I've made sure that all of our accounts were listed on there. Everything's perfect. And what's happened now is we're actually able to purchase and finance these vehicles through lenders that were previously not available to us. Ford Credit, Allstate Leasing. And what this means is our financing costs are dropping dramatically, and I mean like half what they used to just over the course of the past 24 months. We did get a vehicle at 0% in just Dynasty's name, no guarantor. And for those that own businesses, they'll understand that's a pretty big feat. As a matter of fact, when I tell some of our friends in the limo business about this, they don't even believe it. But it is because of my background. I know how important credit is for the company. We protect it very, very, very strongly, and it's paying off.
Yeah, that's excellent, because the more money you save on these vehicles, on interest, is all to the bottom line.
It does. It goes directly to the bottom line. That's right.
Exactly. I wanted to point that out because overall the show is excellent. I'm just extremely impressed, and I just wanted to personally say congratulate you and your family for just an overall excellent job in your personal company and also now with the public company.
Thank you, Steve. I really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. We'll continue to do a great job, I promise.
Yep. God bless you.
God bless you.
And your family.
All right, Stephen. Thank you.
Well, that was nice. That was great.
Yeah, it was. That was nice. He's actually very well known on Investors Hub and all that. He comes highly recommended all over the place. Well, Mr. Fleming, we would like to thank you for taking the time to speak to our audience, and also would like to extend to you an open invitation to join us on the radio show anytime in the future.
Most definitely. I've really enjoyed it. I appreciate the opportunity. Again, thank you so much for everything. Thanks to everybody that's out there supporting us, and look for great things from Dynasty. We're going to do a great job for everyone.
All right, Mr. Fleming. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Good evening. Bye-bye.
That was Mr. Pierce Fleming, the CFO and Vice President of Dynasty Limousine Incorporated, stock ticker DNYS. Extremely, extremely articulate and very clean company. 735,000 share float. I didn't think he was serious when he said that.
That was
you ever hear of that?
Impressive.
No. Wow. He built the processes, marketed it, and it's all about revenue. I mean, it's you always hear that you do the right thing, make a business plan, do the operations correctly, and all that, and the piece will take care of itself. And it's kind of I'll be honest with you, it's slightly embarrassing to tell you the truth. You got all these these OTC players that are playing this pure junk all over the place, throwing hundreds of $1,000s at it and things like that, and here you got a company that's doing everything the right way, 3 times the revenue, top 3 at 8,400 nationwide.
That's quite impressive. Yeah.
It was 4 years in a row, I think, is what he said, right?
Yeah, he did. He said 4 years in a row.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And then we got an exclusive, by the way. Did you catch that?
Oh, yeah.
Limobug.com?
Yes.
Who doesn't think that guy's going to pull that off?
Oh, yeah. That sounds really good.
Good
look forward to seeing that in the future, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was a pleasure. That really was really nice. That was really good.
It's a good job by you.
Yes, very good. Very good.
He made it easy.
Coming off your 2-day hiatus.
I was there's no vacation time. I don't understand what's going on with that.
I don't understand it myself. I'll have to look at the records and see what's going on here.
For all you listeners out there, that name was Pierce Fleming. I would not forget that.
Very detail-oriented. That's one thing I picked up throughout the interview. Very passionate about what he does in his family's business. It was very good. Very good.
And it's almost a no-brainer, that search engine for him. What do you say? He's going to get 15% off every sale?
Yeah, it was 15%.
I mean, that's like expansion without expanding, really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, because he'll be the one that's recommending the limo company, and he grabs 15%, and all he has is a search engine out there.
Right, but see, what it allows him to do is it's not technically a monopoly, but you basically give a competitive edge to the company you select in that locale or that market or that city.
Yep.
That is very powerful.
Yep.
Extremely powerful.
Right.
You know, and that's
good
just
stuff.
pure bucks. You know, for everybody actually, it's a win-win all over the place.
Now the 3-to-1 forward that he was talking about, they currently trading at what, 25 cents?
I think so.
So that leaves them about 8 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, depending on what it does, for sure. But I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if you only have a 736,000 float, I mean, that's a very difficult trading. You know, you've seen it before. You've seen those bid and ask be so far separated because it's not as liquid as you would want it to be. Meaning, you know, traders trade. I mean, you want long investors, of course. I mean, they have that. But with as much stock as his family holds as the majority of that company, it's kind of, you know, holding the stock hostage a little bit. So that's a very smart decision on his part.
Oh yeah. Anytime you see a huge spread, it's always you know, it's almost like a caution sign to you as a buyer. You know, when
Sure.
you're looking at it. I mean, when you see a 10, 12 cent spread, it's a little nerve wracking to go ahead and slap that ask on that one.
Yeah. Well, but Amy said it right. I mean, it's, you know, what he does, every decision he does, and just the way he talks. I mean, you can hear it, and how you know the different pieces of what he was talking about is it's all ethics. The whole thing's ethics, and it's family name. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I mean, he really seems very passionate about the business, the amount of time that he spent, you know, personally getting the company to go public. I mean, I really appreciate him talking in detail about that process because a lot of us don't really get a chance to see that aspect of the business or how that all takes place. So that was impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot longer, but you don't inherit the baggage that comes with these shells a lot of times.
Yeah.
So that's always important.
Absolutely.
Definitely looking out for the investor. That's the gist I got from it, you know. Because he even said I could add more shares out there, you know, but that hurts the investor.
Sure.
So
yeah.
Definitely want to keep an eye on. Very good.
Good stuff.
Very, very good. All right. That's our Monday night show here at Stock Traders Talk Radio. Come join us on our new website. You might actually like the look of this one. We've worked hard on it, and it's out there ready for the public. Tomorrow night, Stock Spotlight. And then Wednesday night, we have another CEO interview coming up. Should be an exciting one. Thursday night on the show, Stock Spotlight. Is that correct? Thursday? Anybody?
I think so. I think you're right.
I think so. And Mr. Coffey, if you could just give me real quick feedback on the show tonight and the quality of it. We have our switchboards in place and all our new equipment. It's awesome. I got so many buttons. It's like a game over here. It's like one of those video games. Like you don't know how to play yet, but you just push buttons and hope things explode.
Mike, you're like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, great. Actually, I didn't touch the switchboard. God forbid I even look at it. Changes volumes on me.
That takes discipline for you.
Let me tell you. Unreal. Well, we hope everybody enjoyed the interview tonight. I know I did. It was a very good one. Rare to see a company like that, starting from the ground up. Beautiful stuff. Again, we'll be back tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a stupendous Stock Spotlight covered by Her Highness QT Cow.
Wow.
QT.
Highness. He's calling you Her Highness. That's awesome.
Are you ready for the spotlight tomorrow?
I was born ready. You know that, Mike.
What you choose. I want to see what you choose, how you roll with it. Cop, did everybody tell you what a fantabulous job she did while you were gone?
Oh, she always does an awesome job.
Oh,
always.
No. You don't understand. You don't understand. You missed conversations while you were gone.
Oh, really?
We don't need cop.
No, you are so kidding.
Is that what she said?
Absolutely
man,
not.
let me tell you some of the stuff that went on. Cop who?
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. We were just hoping that we could fill your shoes while you were gone.
I had a request for a new banner, QT Cal Corner.
No. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. All this stuff was happening over the weekend while you were away.
Wow. Mutiny. That's
you
what
really
it was.
are
Mutiny.
No.
I'm telling you, I couldn't believe it myself. I'm sitting here going, what? QT Cal Corner? Doesn't even make sense. Does not even make sense. I did not get to any commercials tonight, so I apologize to all of those who don't pay us to play them anyway. So tough. I'm not going to play them for you tonight. You can send me the email later and complain all you want. Once again, we'll be back tomorrow night with a stock spotlight. Mr. Kopp, Your Highness QT Cal, wonderful job tonight. Hey, QT, let me ask you something.
What, Mike?
Did a show in length of an hour and 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, hi, Mike. Hi, Chris.
Well, I'm just letting Cop do his thing,
But do I need to pay you for the night? That's what I'm really getting at.
Oh, well,
you do.
No. No, we got a 10-word minimum contract that's signed in place.
Listen, clearly, at any given time, that QT could have taken over that interview, no problem. And you probably would have enjoyed that one too, wouldn't you?
That was a really, I really enjoyed just the overall direction of the company, how it's a family-owned business. I mean, you don't see that too often where there's so much passion and, it was just a really good company, and you did a great job with the interview. I wouldn't want to fill those shoes tonight.
I'm QT trained, so I'm good.
Oh.
Uh-oh. QT's new connection's getting a little slurry.
Really? What?
Yeah.
My headset?
No. Your voice, dear. Your voice.
Oh.
That's in
Sorry.
the switchboard. Don't
slurry.
Don't pay him any mind.
No.
All right. Time to sign off. From all of us here at Stock Traders Talk to all of you out there in Stock Trader Talk Radio land. Wow, that's a big word. Stock Trader Talk Radio land. We're wishing you the best in all your trades, and may your portfolio always be green. This is Stock Traders Talk Radio, and we are out. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable, but is not guaranteed by us as being accurate, and might not be a complete statement or summary of the available data. Stock Traders Talk Radio advises that the investments in companies profiled are commonly considered to be high risk, and use of the information provided is at the investor's sole risk. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio.